Hey guys, let me give you the fancy opening and then we'll get to it. Hold on. All right, there it is. And there, let's get some music. Let's get some tunes. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's go here. Hey guys, I'm super sorry I'm late today. We lost power throughout the entire building and literally got it on like 20 minutes ago, which is kind of funny. Well, maybe like a half hour ago, which is funny because I was just able to do like the private one, like just in time. But that's what happened. Let me just make sure the mic's on and I'm on the right mic. Yep, cool. All right, let's go. Let's do it. My sense of this is that a lot of this is already factored into the market on the sell side. And I'm just going to show you what I see, and then you can do whatever you want with it. But you're grossly oversold on the ES, and now you're bouncing here, and you're starting to turn. So you see the bounce, and now you're starting to lift. And I get it. Like, God knows what Itchy's going to say. Like, I don't have a clue, man. I really don't. But the biggest level for me is right there. I actually want to make, he's just the gift that keeps on giving. He's like Jello of the Month Club. But if you look at that right there, make sure that's on perfectly. I do have this close here, and I don't have that on the NQ. So I think what we should do is keep this as a range. I think that we'd be better off doing that. Oh, I guess these blue light glasses do block blue light because I can't see crap with them on. They're not prescription or anything. They're just blue light. They're supposed to help reduce the eye strain. I guess if they block everything out, they will. Maybe it's just me. I got to get used to them. But you are sitting up, and you have like just wicks to the downside. So I do think there's something to that. Where would you really want to break out of? You really want to break through that. If you would get through that, that would be the cat's pajamas today. I don't know that you're going to get through that or not, but I do think that's super interesting. And, we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, I do. What do we got going on here? Anything of consequence? Not really. All right, good. if we look at those levels, I mean, that's really it. And then I would kind of go from there and see how that acts. It's crazy when you look at it that those levels that you're that tight in from a 4-hour chart, like it's that tight right now. And it is, it really is that tight. It's kind of nuts. But, the thing that I find so fascinating about this is that you are this tight. And I do think there's something to that. So, I don't know. I'd be super careful today if, thinking that we're just going to fall apart. I'd be really careful with that because I'm not entirely sure that's what's going to happen. So I would be leaning more towards that. You're probably going to sell down ahead of him and bonk around. And then from there, that's not helpful. We'll figure it out. But let me go to this and then go from there. And I'm going to get rid of, it's so freaking weird. I got to look at my settings. Let's get rid of this. But you'll see it here, right? See what I'm talking about? You're not able to close from this. And it actually lines up perfectly with the histogram, like perfectly, which is kind of crazy. No, I want this one. I think I want that one. I think so. I don't think we need this. I think we got to watch the top of this doji right there. That's really the top of the H, which I don't really view this as an H. And I know a lot of people do. I don't view it as an H. I really don't. You can say we just kind of broke our trend line. That was it. But I don't really view it that way. And, we already did the RSI on it. So I don't think we have to do it again. I mean, we can. It's going to take 2 seconds. Say it. You're already flipping. You're already undercut flip. And it's not a divergence per se, but you did undercut and you are going higher. And, so I'm leaning towards, BFD. And I think understanding the market more than anything's really super important. Like, I don't think it's one big trade right now, right? So I actually think you're better off thinking that before you even enter. Like, it's just one big trade. So the idea that, I don't think stock selection is going to matter too much. Unless you're like looking to figure out what to short. That's right, what I think anyway, but we'll see. Mm-hmm. As far as news, what I thought was interesting, we can go through. I'm going to take questions, but I'll just leave it with this. I thought this was fascinating, and I don't really believe this got there because I had orders last night and I didn't get any of them filled. But I'll tell you what I thought was absolutely fascinating with this stuff. That you're only down $1 or $2 on that news. Like, you should have gotten smoked. You guys will probably ask about Workday. I think Workday was an absolute dumpster fire. I'm surprised it's not down more. I can't believe somebody came out and put a buy on it. Like, it's absolutely shocking to me. Let's do questions because I didn't get through them all yesterday. And I do apologize for starting late. I am really trying to get to that 8:15 level. It will happen. Yeah, I did a great trade off that yesterday. I did not stay with it. But yeah, I think what's starting to happen is he got told, he's like, I'm going to take stakes in companies. And people are like, yeah, you can't do that. That's called socialism. So I really think that's kind of what happened there. And he's like, well, then we're not going to do the CHIPS Act. Like, I think it was something, I really think it was something like that. And then they're like, okay, well, we're going to move that over here. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work out. It's very hard to rely on any of this stuff because we change like the wind, right? Like, everything's always changing. everything's always evolving. And it's really like from an investor standpoint, it's really kind of maddening because you just can't rely on anything. So give me 1 second here. You really can't rely on anything. So it gets really frustrating with him because he changes so fast. It's great from a trading standpoint, but when you start trying to do more thematic work, I find it very difficult because you're like, oh, well, they're doing the CHIPS Act, so all this money's going to come in. And then you're like, well, then that money that was earmarked, yeah, that's gone. I don't know. Do we think it's going to stay there, or is it going to go into the paper towel market, right? Like, and I'm being facetious, but you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. Is that the only $2 billion that the country has? Do we have to make that decision, or things that tight? Like, what was the purpose of that? Like, if you like, this is my point, because it goes more towards the macro side of it, right? Like, what was the point? We only have $2 billion to spend. You know, they spend more than that on lunch. Did you see the Fed's new place? They spent more on that on the Fed's new place. But that, we got to move that. We got to make sure we punish Intel or whoever we're out there to punish. So, okay. Anyway, but you have money, like you have more than $2 billion at the government, right? I mean, I hope we do. So I don't know. I found the statement bizarre, and it makes you wonder why. Like, I'm going to take my toys and go home. Is that it? Like, what was the purpose of that? And I'm not saying it from a political standpoint, but I'm saying it from like, you have to start thinking about how this is going to go for the next 3 years, or at least until midterms, that you're going to have this level of volatility and it's not going away. And I think that level of volatility and understanding that part of it, that nugget, is way more important than did that 2 billion, because that's all we have left, go to rare minerals. So I personally think that you should be, if you're doing it for the trade, like I did it for the trade and I blew the thing out. I'm like, thank you very much. You know, please put it into the next thing that we need, like lithium or something. But I would not put a lot of faith in that, Julian. Like, I would not be going out there and going, oh man, I really got to buy those names because they're going to put money into them. Next thing you know, they're going to do the same thing. Oh yeah, we'll give you the money, but we want a stake in your company. I think it's very interesting how fast this bounced and put in a bottom in a bad tape. I agree. I 100% agree with you on this. And the other thing that's really interesting to me is this kind of thing. And you'll say it, and you probably already saw this, Julian, but I'm just going to point it out for those that might not be familiar with the name. But hold on. Oh boy. All right. Okay. So irritated this morning. It's not funny. Yeah, I'm just going to clone this because I can. Oh boy. Oh, that wasn't faster, was it? You're still lower, or you're still higher. So they're actually eating up supply at this line, and they've been eating it up since about December, right? So you had the extreme move. Everyone's like, yay, Nancy. And then, boo, Nancy. And then everyone starts buying again, and then earnings, yay. But what's really happening here is they're eating up supply of that name. And I think of the things that you brought up today, Julian. I think that this is very interesting. I was looking at this, and I think you're there. I do. You're behind on the earnings. You're in the right space, because if you need exposure, like a lot of people are going to need exposure to, what do you call it? Healthcare, right? And they're looking at this going, I don't know, man. I know that he's in there, but do I want to buy this? And I think that, they did their due diligence. So I do have a position that I'm going to hold in this. I did have a swing too. Like I'll have a long-term position or a swing, and I did get stopped out of the swing and I lost money. But the long-term, like I'm just going to just leave it alone. I think they did their work. But if you're a fund and you're like, I don't want to buy CI, I don't want to buy that, but I want exposure. I need healthcare exposure. Like, I don't think it gets any clearer. Like, where's your Momo, right? Like, where's the Momo for that? I think it's this name, and I think you're there. Because the other thing about this name that's so fascinating, right? And this is why I'm spending so much time on it. Here's earnings. Everyone gets crushed out of their calls. By the way, guys, everyone's buying calls on earnings. That's why you're having such a bad time. And then look at your buying ever since. Look at the amount of buying that's been going on ever since then, right? So there's definitely something to that. I think it's a great idea. I like that idea a lot. Thanks for sharing. Peace Sky, I killed it with yesterday. I still have a lot of that. There's something interesting going on in that space. You know, these guys really have it together. I think you have a control bar here. I wouldn't touch it, but they really have it together. I was watching Hood yesterday, but there was no volume. That's why I didn't do the trade, because there was zero volume. But I did like the pattern. MNSO. Peace Guy's going a lot higher, in my opinion. I don't know what the news is. Was it earnings? I'd have to go through this and understand why it's up today. I don't know what they do. I'd be just talking out of my butt. I don't think people get this at all. Like, I don't think people get this merger. I truly don't think they understand what a juggernaut this thing's going to be and how they're going to just, I think they're going to crush. You know, I think eventually they're going to be a huge competitor for Netflix. I think it's going to take years, but I really do. I don't think the market's big enough for them, but man, if I was Disney Plus, actually Alien Earth is pretty good. H20 was suspended at Foxconn. And it's a big deal because Jensen flew over there last night. So it's a really big deal. He actually flew to Taiwan last night to talk to the vendors, to talk to the country, everything. So China does not want the H20 chip. They said they're not taking possession of it. You can't force someone to buy the chip. So it's a real problem. And, you know, I don't think the U.S. really cares. I don't think the admin cares. They're like, don't buy it. What do we care? This is what we're offering. And if you don't want to buy it, we don't want you to have the other one. Which is kind of like, I don't know. I don't really get it. Is it that like they can't get it anyway? I mean, Singapore just happens to buy billions and billions of dollars of the high-end chips, and we all just assume that they're staying in Singapore. Okay. But it is what it is. It's time for the ugly news cycle before earnings, which they always do, right? But Lily, 633. How would you swing trade this at this level? I don't know. I mean, I own it from earnings. I bought it the next day too. I actually bought it here, and then I bought more here. The turn's perfect. I don't think there's much to do with it. I mean, this is your level. That's what you have to get through. Would I use that now? I mean, this is your level. You got to get through. I mean, it's really that simple. You're either going to get through or you're not. If you get through, you're probably going to gap fill. That's how I see. That's what I think is going to happen. You know, am I worried about this here? Not really. I mean, there's a couple of them here that you reversed on, but I actually think you gap fill if that happens. I think you do it like it completely gap fills. That's what I think happens. I don't see how it doesn't, to be honest. That's how I would look at it, Kev. Good morning from New York. Good morning from Miami. Industrials are being bought, dude, but, you know, that's not a great chart. So I think it's the same levels, Kev. I think you're at the same levels, and you're really struggling right in here with the 12 and the 22 and the cross. So you need to really hold, like I use the 55. You should use what you're comfortable with. I think you got to hold in there, man. I really do. Good morning from Hartford. Good morning from Miami. What's up, Steve? Good morning from Jersey. Good morning from Miami. I'm a tactical asset allocation. Yay. I can go through them, but this one I don't really follow. So I'm not really going to be adding a ton of value there. So this I like, but I think you've had your time in the sun for now. You need to kind of hold in here, but I think structurally, I think you've had your time in the sun. I do think APH is going to be a monster. Like and it has been a monster, but it is very clear that it is buy this thing. It dipped. Did it dip again? Buy this thing. Did it dip again? Buy. Like it's over. It insists upon itself. So like, there's no doubt in my mind when I run this one scan that tells me like the highest growth names that have like long-term, the ability to be like long-term killers. There's no doubt in my mind that this is one of those. So, and GEV up here, I like longer term, but I mean, you got some time now. Once they cross, that's pretty much it for me until they kind of get it together again. Because I'm just going to have so much weight on it. It's literally like a weight weighing it down. So, but I like it. Your browser lost your camera. Oh, fantastic. No more bonding. Hold on, let's get rid of that. Okay, that's good. What else we got? I don't think anything's going to happen until then. CBR did a logo change. I don't know anything about this. I mean, I guess they did a logo change. Okay. Why do I care? I mean, what's the new logo? A new logo of its All the More campaign. Oh, I mean, change to spark backlash. A redesign. The new logo is sterile and soulless. I mean, is it that bad? Show me new logo. Hold on. Boomers using the internets. Give me a second. That sucks. I mean, I don't think it's going to stop people from going to Cracker Barrel, but why would you get rid of the old logo for this? Like, this is just stupid. This is just like why people should be fired right here. This is like a classic example. Like, that's your new logo? Wow. That's fantastic. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't. If I went there and wanted all the fixins, am I not going to go because their logo sucks? You know what I mean? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think just 5 minutes of my life I'm not going to get back. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, John. Do you really think it's that big a deal? Like, it seemed to me that it's probably just an outright buy on the logo change. Like, I would think you're actually going to gap fill on it. Like, I would think that you'd rally, dude. I don't think it's that big a deal. I really don't. All those tanker names have been doing something, right? All of them. And we never know why. Like, it's just the weirdest group ever. So hard to trade. Bonjour. Good morning. Hold on. What's up, JJ? Yeah, I think that's actually really big news on this. I don't know it's going to 40, but I think it's going to hold it'll hold its VWAP from now on, or its NAV or its book value. The fact that they just put a backstop on it. Yeah, I mean, if you think you're going to be at NAV now, I think it makes sense to buy it. You've kind of got the stock now with a backstop of book value. And now you're going to have an equity kicker associated with it from all the hoople heads that are going to get excited and buy it. So, yeah, I do think it could now that they have that backstop in, Yeah, it does make sense because now they're going to have their own stock buyback with all their money and they're going to go out there and buy it in the open market. I think it's big. Yep. Please subscribe to the channel. Turn on all notifications because God knows when those videos are going to come out. What's going on, Lynn? I'm looking at this. It looks like it's heading towards 300. It's like that slow death, right? It's kind of like that Metallica song, Creeping Death. It just keeps like just can't rally, man. Just can't rally. And it's such a weird thing too, because you're like, oh, we made the higher high. It's really going to go womp womp, and then it's down. Yeah, it's a tough one, man. This is not an easy trade. And the thing about it is everybody that's trading it, take your time. Everybody that's in there that's like looking at charts and saying, oh, well, it does this. The only thing that I'm convinced of that you can really see, because like if you look at all these wicks, like they are just killing people on breakouts, right? They're killing people, and they're killing people on the breakdowns too. Like you think, oh, it finally technically broke, and then you're like, wham. The only thing that I'm very comfortable in stating with this name is that you are probably not breaking 300 without news. That's the only thing I'm very comfortable in stating. Thank you, John. It's the only thing I'm very comfortable in stating. That's it. I think you'll probably touch 300 again. I think he's got major issues. I've made it very clear. You're not going to see a robo-taxi. My over-under is 5. And I don't even think you're going to see that. I think this lawsuit is way bigger than people want to admit. And, do you want to go out? Like the whole theory was, oh, I'm going to rent my car out, right? I'm going to rent my car out. I'm going to buy a Tesla. I'm going to rent my car out and it's going to drive around the world and I'm going to make money while I'm sleeping off my car. Okay. And then what happens if somebody gets in an accident with it? And then you just saw what happened with Tesla. And then they're like, oh, well, they got sued. It didn't work. They got sued over it. They lost $250 million. Like someone's going to look at this and go, do I really want this liability? Because you are liable for your car, period. End of story. And I think that's I don't think people wrap their noodle around that problem yet. So I think this stuff with the robot and, coming to change your water heater and the cars that are going to drive themselves, like, I think we are so far away from that. I actually think the Amazon model makes way more sense with what he's doing with those like things that can go back and forth. I think they're called Zeus or whatever he calls them. I think that makes way more sense for that. And I think Tesla's way behind in this. And so what are you buying? EVs, and nobody's buying EVs anymore. And there's no even if you like them, there's no infrastructure in the country for them. I don't know where that money went, but so I don't know. You have a product that people aren't buying, but he keeps coming out with the new thing. It's a pickle, man. It's a real pickle. Someday he's probably going to put X in here. That's what I think he's going to do. That's what he does. But I don't know, Sam. I like uranium, Troy. I like uranium a lot. I own some uranium names. Anton now. I actually think it looks great. Like I think some of these names look fine. I just think that you're in this kind of overextended trading range with them, right? I mean, that's kind of how I see it. So, but you're not really falling apart. I don't know, Workday was a dumpster fire. Absolute dumpster fire, man. This thing's, I'm surprised CRM was only down $1 and now it's up on this. This is so fascinating to me. Like if this rallies on this, I got to watch this today because if you rally on this, man, that's going to be something. So, if you can rally on that, I don't know. I think it's okay. I think you're okay there. I don't think you have to really what's going to hurt you. The thing about it is, like, here's the problem with these names. Like, you look at something like, here's your earnings, right? The earnings and revenue were great. They were great. Okay. They were great. They were better than this quarter on a sequential beat, right? Quarter over quarter, year over year, the sequential was better. Rocking, smoked. It's like one big trade in this stuff. So it is what it is, but I think they're great. Bro, it's like in Miami. It's honest to God. Sometimes it's like living in it's like living in South America. I can go a day down here easy and not hear English. Yeah, I think you're going to see more of that. You like the idea that you're definitely going to get cuts, I think, is crazy. The idea that you're just going to get cuts is crazy. I don't think he's going to say job market's strong at all. He's going to look, if he says the job market's strong at all, he should be fired immediately. You have numbers that you haven't seen since 2010. I don't need reading glasses. I would have no problem wearing reading glasses. So yes, we got them. No spite. If you block the vision, you don't have any eye strain. I'm going through this, seeing what else I want to go. If there's something there. We're switching to workday for more. I can't wait. Oh, is it better? Is it? I don't know that. It's going a lot higher. When you really understand what they're doing and how they're building out the model, they're going a lot higher. That's just my opinion. What do I know? They could be, and they could be right. And our government's not going to tell us that they're doing that. You know, Roca, I think, is the brand. Is what they are. They're actually pretty good. I mean, I can actually feel the less of the eye strain on them. Zep. Please don't be a penny stock. ZEPP. Yeah, I don't know a darn thing about this. Good Lord. Like, I don't know anything about it. But, you know, it makes perfect sense to they figure out how to make air. RBLX, I'm short. I just think there's so much headline risk. You're bidding up $1 or $2. Okay. But I think there's so much there. Yeah, there was no power this morning. NASDAQ article. Yeah. Who writes those articles? The man writes those articles. Good morning from DC. New member question via email. I think so. Send me an email. Fast forward the email right now. Like, literally, if you're seeing this, fast forward it right now, and I'll get to it. If it was sent to me and it wasn't sent to like the concierge, which it should go to the concierge because he answers. I take I don't have the time to go through it all. You'd be surprised how many emails I get, but I'll send just literally forward it right now, bro, and I'll get to it. I think he's totally covering his ass. I don't think there's another way to think about it, man. Like I really like, how else would you think about it? This is why he's the worst. This is why he's got to go. That Cook, I read that the complaint on Cook. I mean, that's actually a real issue. I don't know. I don't know what some of these people are thinking when they're in government. Like, you don't think you're going to be screwed? Maybe they thought they weren't going to be scrutinized. So I don't think it's woke. I just think it sucks. I mean, what's woke about this? Like, I don't think this is woke. I think it just blows. Like, that's not really woke, is it? It's just sterile. You know, I don't really feel like I'm looking at a woke logo. I just think it's awful. So excuse the language. I'm going to check this right now, Dan. Hold on. Maybe you sent me that. Come on, load. Here we go again with them internets. Where is that at? There you are. What do you got for me? Just change the name. When I reached upon an error Discord, I saw that. I just want to change my. You can change the name, or are you asking here? I think what you need is another invite. That's what I think. That's where you're going. I'm not going to try to decipher this. It's going to be an absolute disaster this early in the morning. Hold on, buddy. I can do stuff. I'm smart. All right. Here is a new invite. All right, Dan, I'm just giving you a new invite link. I just sent you a new invite link. All right, what else you got? Oh, I haven't been in one in a long time. I used to have a friend that was older, probably 30 years older. And he used to go there. He used to love it. We used to just get the biscuits. I felt when I left there, I felt when I left there, I felt like I got the diabetes, like the way we would eat. I don't get that this is a social justice component, guys. I don't know. I just see a really crappy logo. Like Jaguar, I would have agreed with you all on, but on that one, is the interior different? I like uranium a lot here. HYG insurance solves that. People like the Waymo a lot. Like there was one guy that did a whole thing on it where he said that's all he used for like a week. I watched him. He loved it. I like Sim, but they have one client really, right? I mean, you look like you're holding, but you have this negative you see the divergence. So, but I like that space. There's something going on with coal. $10. Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. Yeah, it's Roku. Like I probably bought a bunch of these here. Hold on. So like I bought these two. Oh, you can't see, the camera's gone. So I tried another brand too. Where are you? Hold on. I tried another brand too called Gunner, and they were good. Gunnar. But this Roku brand is I think they were like ex-military guys or something. So like they really needed these things to be like perfect. I think it's here it is. Yeah, this is where you go. Hold on, bro. You should try them. I'm telling you right now, it's definitely got the eye strain. The eye strain's definitely better. That's where I got him from. I got him from Huberman, of all things. I listened to a lot of his podcasts. Like here, go here, dude. Go there. A lot. Like I don't really. I was probably I look at charts all the time. I gotta go. Trade to win. Make good choices. Watch Saturday's video. It's going to be packed.